All right, in this explainer, we are going to tackle a piece of tech that has, let's be honest, completely taken the world by storm. ChatGPT. We're going to cut through all the hype and get right down to what it is, how it actually works, and most importantly, why you should care.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics, then get into the nitty-gritty of how it works. After that, we'll cover how to actually use it effectively, look at what else it can do, and then zoom out to the big picture. What does this mean for all of us?
Okay, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on ChatGPT, you first have to appreciate just the sheer scale of this thing. It's huge.
100 million. That's how many people were using ChatGPT every month, just a couple of months after it launched. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the number of households in the entire United States. It is, without a doubt, the fastest-growing app in history, period.
But what does that name ChatGPT even mean? Well, the GPT part is actually the perfect cheat sheet. G is for generative because it creates brand new stuff. P is for pre-trained, which means it did all its homework, reading a huge chunk of the internet before any of us ever got to talk to it. And T is for transformer. Now that's the secret sauce, the special architecture that lets it understand context and makes its answers actually make sense.
So here's the most important thing to get. Despite all the magic, at its very core, ChatGPT has a surprisingly simple job. It's just a super advanced version of the autocomplete on your phone. All it's doing, really, is guessing the most likely next word, one word at a time. That's it.
But, and this is a huge but, by doing that one simple thing over and over with incredible skill, it can pull off some frankly mind-blowing feats. We're talking passing the bar exam, to become a lawyer, passing U.S. medical licensing exam. Some tests have even clocked its IQ at 147. And it's not just about exams. This thing can get creative. It can write poetry, compose music, and write working computer code.
So that leads to the obvious question, how? How does it get from just predicting words to passing medical exams? Well, the secret, as you might guess, is all in the training.
I mean, think about it. For any given sentence, there are thousands of possible words that could come next. How on earth does it learn to pick the right one, the one that fits perfectly, out of an almost infinite number of combinations?
It happens in 3 big steps. First, they just fed it an insane amount of text, basically a huge chunk of the internet, books, Wikipedia. We're talking trillions of words. Then, it uses that data to build a giant brain, a neural network with 175 billion connections or parameters. You can think of these like tiny knobs that the AI tunes to map out how all those words relate to each other. And finally, and this part is absolutely crucial, real humans stepped in to fine-tune it. They rated its answers to help teach it to be helpful, truthful, and, not evil.
What you end up with is this incredibly complex, multidimensional map of language. On this map, words with similar meanings, like king and queen, are mathematically close together. It's not memorizing facts, it's learning the vibe, the statistical relationships between concepts. But, and this is a direct warning from the people who made it, OpenAI, you have to remember this, ChatGPT doesn't know anything, it doesn't understand things the way you and I do. It's a pattern-matching machine. As the saying goes, if you're not giving it a prompt, it's just no thoughts, head empty.
Okay, so how can we, as users, get the best possible results out of this amazing tool? Well, it all comes down to a simple, timeless rule of computing. Garbage in, garbage out.
Seriously, the quality of what you get out is directly tied to the quality of what you put in. Just look at the difference here. A vague, amateur prompt gets you a generic, boring answer. But a specific, detailed, professional prompt, that gets you something powerful, something you can actually use.
The pros actually use frameworks like this one to build those great prompts. You give it a role, like you are an expert copywriter. You give it a clear task. You provide the context it needs. You set constraints, like word count. And you tell it the format you want, like a table or bullet points. You give it all that, and it will give you gold.
But things are moving so fast. ChatGPT is already way more than just a text machine. Let's look at its other superpowers, what we call its multimodal capabilities. This thing can now see. It can analyze images, screenshots, even your messy handwriting. It can be a data analyst, digging through spreadsheets for you. It can be your coding partner, writing and fixing code. And it can browse the web for real-time, up-to-the-minute info.
So let me give you a really cool, concrete example. Let's say you have an idea for a website, and you just scribble a quick sketch of it on a napkin. You can just take a picture of that scribble,
And ChatGPT can look at your drawing and generate the actual working code to build that exact website. I mean, come on, that is basically magic. It takes you from a fuzzy idea to a real thing in seconds.
Or how about this? You can just upload a raw, boring sales spreadsheet, and it won't just analyze the numbers, it'll create a clean, easy-to-read chart like this one for you. This is the kind of stuff that used to take a data analyst hours of work.
So, where is all of this going? This is where we zoom out, because we're moving past just a neat tool and into something that's going to have massive ripple effects across all of society.
Think about this for a second. We are at a turning point. The sheer amount of AI-generated content being created is about to completely overwhelm our information ecosystem. It's been estimated that the amount of text being created by these AIs could soon surpass the total volume of all written works by humanity ever.
And this leads us to one of the biggest, most important unsolved problems in the entire field of AI, the alignment problem. Put simply, it's the race to make sure that these incredibly powerful systems, as they get smarter and more autonomous, actually share our goals and our values.
And that leaves us with one final and pretty heavy question to think about. As AI gets good enough to generate anything we can imagine, text, images, videos that are completely indistinguishable from reality, how will any of us know what's real anymore? That's not just a tech question. It's a question about the very nature of truth itself.